lot of memories in this place. I was 12. We moved here in 1989. We left in 91. So I was 12, 13, 14 up here. That was my window. That was my bedroom window right there at the right top corner. That was my first spot I had a bedroom for in like a while. The middle windows was our living room. We had a two bedroom. And then that torn out window right here was the hallway where you come down and come out. Yep, this was our building for a couple of years. And straight up, like, I used to run everybody out the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Because why?
Because I felt like my mom was part of that. You know? I had to get, I had to make sure my person was safe out of all of the craziness going on. I had to make sure my person was coming back home at night. Because, we was hearing the stories of people coming up missing, people coming up raped and all those things around here. I was hoping that it wouldn't be mine. So with my latchkey kid self, I got my key. I'm coming outside 2 o'clock in the morning if I don't see you in your room. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to get you, or I'm gonna make some noise enough for wherever you at. You gonna know I came. So, oh shit, he came. Let me get back to the crib.
Right.
So,
what does that do to you as a young man?
Honestly, it helps you become a man, and it's the difference between helping you and turning you into. It helps you become a man, but it turns you into almost like a person that has to indirectly deal with fear, because it's not your situation, right, but you're about to throw yourself into it so that the outcome can be something that you're okay with. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it robbed you of just being a kid?
Nah, that's the thing. It did not.
It didn't?
Nope. Now, my friends, a lot of them, it did rob them because they was hustling so bad. They was hustling so bad when we was 12 and 13. They riding around in the Chevys and all that, and straight hustling throughout all of our teenage years. And a couple of them didn't make it. God bless the dead. Shout out to Maurice White. He didn't even make it to 9th grade. He was out of there, And I look back on my friends like Maurice, Donnell, Mikey. They was the hot boys. We was in 7th grade. They pushing every vehicle with big rims and all that. They bought their mom the rolling shutters and all that on the crib. But they hustling to the point where I think Donnell might be the only one left. He might be gone. He might be, away. But Mikey, Maurice, I know they both gone. They not here anymore, and a lot of my other friends.
What would you say to the person that says that it absolutely robs you because nobody at that age should have to worry about stuff like that? What do you say to that?
I say they had to be there, I still had a bike as a kid. I still rode the bus. I still laughed, played. I still rapped. I still sang. I still played in the backyard. I still got out and about in the city. My mom worked every day. We had my parents were addicts, but they were functioning. They both worked every day, 8-hour jobs, whatever. Came home at night. For the most part, every single day was a regular family day. You know what I'm saying? So I went to school, came home. The only thing I couldn't do sometimes was the things that money had to pay for. We ain't have it. My mom, real talk, my mom made about $300 a week. That's $1,200 a month.
Right.
And the rent was $300 back then.
Right.
That's crazy. And if I'm being honest, the only way I could ever say it robbed me was if I compared it to somebody else's life. And since life ain't about comparisons, I can't say it robbed me. I'll give anything to go back to being able to go to the park, being able to fight without worrying about getting shot.
Right.
Being able to talk about people and they get back at me. And when you had, honestly, the big issue is if whether or not you had someone who loved you.
Absolutely.
And that's the difference. Like, I had people, especially my mom and dad. My dad wasn't around. I knew he loved me.
Right.
I knew he was sick for a period of time. And that's the maturity that some people have, some don't. I knew my mom loved me, and I knew no matter what sickness she had going on, it wasn't gonna go far enough to where I was gonna get taken away or this and that. It was just a time period. So
A moment in
the
time.
whole thing was just a time period. So if you could get through this, we'll be all right.
You didn't have to love for me.